What's up, guys? And I finally did it. I finally got X1 in my last weeks, I believe. It started last weekend, our fifth local remote duel hosted by my good friend ESDR Gaming, and it's been the fifth ranking remote duels, I believe. I finally got my top three. I got X1 last night, and with my favorite decks, of course, the Eldrich himself. I It's a 4 round Swiss. During the first round, I faced a mirror match, and I my hand is just too good not to kill it during the second turn. Second match would game two is Code Talker. It's basically the same because my hand is just too good. And third is Code Talker. We both traded back and forth resources during our games, but at the third game he just over resources me. He have one more extenders than I thought is a Sky Strikers, and he basically just yeet his whole hand against me when I go first. And yep, that's the game. I only win the second game because after side decking I'm supposed to go first, but I let him go first, so I just clear him boards. And game game 4 or round 4 is a good friend of mine, Edward. He plays 60 Dragon Links, and I just got the upper hand of clearing his board because I have side frames Gamma, and he crossed out me, so I stay at a hand. I got one more hand traps, but that is the only hand trap I mained in this whole tournament. I basically just playing a zero hand trap Eldrich, but in the end I play the side frame Gamma because I have something little bit tech in the extra deck. I'll show you guys later. So basically this is a zero hand trap Eldritch decks, and without further ado, let's go into the profile. Well, first off, of course, we can't play without the 3 Golden Lord itself. And well, people say that why don't you just play 2? Won't it be break in a hand? Well, it even breaker if it don't come to your hands and help you clearing stuff like your opponent's set cards or whatever. Playing 3 is the most optimal number. And of course, we can't play the deck without the second best boss monster, King of the Sky Prison. This card is definitely performed well in this tournament. Most of the time I just review this to protect my back row, and I didn't get to summon it because it's not necessarily have to summon. You can just review it until the opponent's turn. Your back row basically is safe from everything except for Cosmic and Evenly. So it's okay if you let it out of your hands, so your back row is just keep lives. And some of the people didn't realize it says that when a setted spell traps is activated, you may activate its effects, specimen this card from hand, and if you do set one spell trap from deck to the field. It says setted spell trap. It didn't mention only your set the spell trap. If your opponent plays a back row deck, if it activates a set spell traps, you can also trigger this as well. But I never summon it because that moment it doesn't really necessarily have to come out. I rather it at the hand to protect my back rows. And the one and only hand trap I main is the Cyframe Gamma. The Gamma package is absolutely phenomenal. I believe I wanted to cut this to play something else, maybe a summon limit, but I feel like if you're going second, you maybe not needed that much of a hand trap, but having a Cyframe Gamma force your opponents to stop because you're basically removing a card. Unlike Maxis or Ash, you just trade it one to one. It basically does nothing. If your opponent have call by or even cross out, they just get passed by that hand trap. But if you play Gamma, some of the people don't main that Gamma, so they have cross out, they can't do anything. Even if they Ash, this card stays as a hand, you can activate this again like multiple times. And yeah, that's why I only play this, and this is the only monster lineup I play. It's only 8. Yeah, very small lineups. And for the spells, this is the consistency card. Is the 3 extracts and 1 prosperity. Extracts I never actually open a lot. I only open it during the round 2, I believe. And prosperity, I mostly open this every single game. I open this a lot, and the reason I play 1 is, as you can see, I open this card a lot. And if you have a resources that much for extravagance, you don't have much resources for prosperity to banish because your extras only have 15s, so you doesn't need that much of a copy of a consistency card. And also, opening multiple of these is just not that good. You're playing 4, and the basic opening hand of my 42 decks, opening one of these is basically 25%, so you don't want to open that much. It just basically breaks you. And if you really needed this, if you have a Sky Prison in your hand, if you use it, it's effect to trigger to your opponent's turn, you special summon this, you can set your Prosperity or set your Extravagance, and you can just live next turn, so you don't not necessarily have to put that much to increase consistency because you already have the consistency. And the golden land lineup would be 2 Cursed Outland. There's a reason why this card is at 2, because this card is just really good with Sky Prison. Most of the time Sky Prison set this, and during turn you draw for turn, and you activate this, you search whatever you needed, you search Golden Lord, send your opponent's monster, send your opponent's back row, and then use the Golden Lord effects to send this card to the graveyard to triggers, and you won't have to banish next time because you mostly just send this card to the graveyard. Even if this card did banish, it doesn't really matter because it doesn't float in the graveyards. And to combine out with the spells would be 1 Black Awakening and 1 White Destiny. As this is also the simple reason why I put only one. You got Sky Prison. There are multiple ways to dig this out. You don't never actually have to hard draw it. But if you do, you do. If you don't, then you just don't. And after the trap lineups would be this basic lineup would be triple Sanguine, triple Conquistador, 2 Aquero, and 1 Forever Golden Land. This I wanted to play 2 because this is a really good card, but I take out the second piece of Golden Land Forever because I play something else in the main decks. I'll show you guys later. And this is the basic lineups. The cards in my actual deck make me want to play the third piece of Aquero, but I never did. I'm glad I didn't because it would be brick fest for me. This is the standard lineups. And for the Floodgates, a triple skill drain Konami. This card is just busted. If you wanted to limit it, I don't really have much to complain because this card wants me every single game I play. Most of the game I won because of these cards, and there's no reason not to play it. Even if this card got limited to 1, I'm still going to play the deck. Just gonna change the variant a little bit. And for the one-time use trap to accompany with Sky Prison, I should tell you guys why. It is 2 Dogmatic Punishment. This is a 1 card pop 2, which is really insane in this format because most of the decks like Virtual World, Sky Striker, etc. For Virtual, let's say if they have GG or Lao Lao, and they will have if they already activate a Chuche or whatever they have, you can open this and you just pop 2 cards for free. And even if they're Lao Lao, they bring back a Nian Nian or Lulu, you can just pop the Lao Lao and Lulu and leave the Nian Nian over there and just stop their turn. And for what I meant for one-time use trap is because if you remember Sky Prison, it says when you activate a set the spell traps, you can special this and you can set another one. So if I open this and it just clear off the space, if summon this, I have another space for it to summon again, unlike the skill drains or summon limits, or even there can be only one, something like that. The continuous trap, if you open and resolve, even if you triggers the Sky Prison, if you don't have space in the spell trap zone to set, it will be very wasteful to use this. Sometimes you needed the extra set to help you get past turn, so I play a lot of traps, normal traps or even quick spells, but I only play 1 quick spells to activate 1 time and it just leaves the field. You can just use this to set another one. If you open, let's say you open Dogmatic Punishment, you can set another one for next turns, so you basically have 2 punishments in your deck, so you won't have to worry that much. And the same reason for the God cards in this week would be triple Torrential. This card overperformed in my opinion. This card just absurd in this format, like Sword Souls, Drytrons, or even the Virtual. If they summon like multiple monsters before they even commit to the extra decks, like Virtual before they even committed into the Coral Dragon or Shen Shen, you can just Torrentials. For Drytron, before they even go to Mu Beta, you can just Torrential. And yeah, for Sword Souls, their first normal summon, like they summon their first normal summon, they summon a token, they activate this, and then you just have to find another extenders. It's just really good, and also can be searched out by the King of the Sky Prison, and you open this, flash the boards, and Sky Prison specials, set this one if you need it, or you can set other one if you need it. And the another card I last minute put in will be triple golden match. I personally don't like this card because all my monsters are light and sky prisons are dark, but it doesn't really matter because if you open this, you basically force your opponent to stop playing even more further. If even during the next few turns they draw something to remove it, it will be too late already because you have your floodgates to be your standby for their extends or combos or anything. And this is a second skill drain, I believe, but it doesn't stop my opponent from doing some things like Code Talkers. Some of them are lights, or Drytrons, yep, they are lights as well, so it doesn't really matter. And shoutouts to round 4 Edward for Dragon Links. He make a board, I clear it, and I open this, an Imperial Order. I deduct my life points until I left 350 and he still can't kill me. So my board is just one Golden Lord and one Conquistador in defense positions. I have this, I have 4 back rows. All of my 4 back rows are fake, and we just keep passing back and forth. He set a monster, so I attack, he set a monster, and I pass. And I basically decked out all of his monsters, and he got nothing to concede anymore, so I just push through. Shoutouts to Edwards, by the way. And speaking of Imperial Order, yes, this is a broken card, I believe. I have a curse. If my locals believe that I have a curse, every time I activate this card, I will lose that game immediately. But this rankings proves that it's a wrong theory. And to accompany my fear against something like back row lightning storm, dusters, whatever, would be the 3 solemn judgment and 2 strikes, because I hate dusters, I hate lightning storms. So I played this in main deck 3, so that's why I cut the 1 strike into judgment, because strike is okay but not as okay as judgment. Strike is for allowing my sanguine to go live. Mostly I activate sanguines, people are just gonna ash, so I'm just gonna punish them. That's all for the main deck. Is 42 cards because of the side frames. Otherwise, it would be 41 if I remove the side frames to put something like Ecclesia or the Dear Servant. But that's so go on for the extra decks. The extra decks, you guys probably wondering, you don't play extra decks. Why you even explain? Well, I did, to be honest, because I know my luck. I don't always open extravagance. I only open prosperity, so I get to choose. Triple Gustav Max. This is for games, so. And this is a new edition. I play triple Constellar Pleiades. You guys probably wondering why I play this. Well, I'm gonna be showing you guys why. So imagine if you have one of these like set it, and your opponent like somehow having a bad hand or worst hand they ever have. Let's say you activate this, and you already have a Sky Prison triggers already on effects. You can summon this Sky Prison effects, specials. You can set your Conquistadors and just pass during your turn. You can activate this, and you can go for attack and then go for Pleiades and play this effect. You're gonna detach, bounce back your Sky Prison and activate this effect to protect your back row, and your Hakur's effect is gonna trigger during end phase, and you're gonna set Sanguine. So you basically just have a protecting back rows, a bounce, and a guaranteed Eldrich. If your opponent's Ash, that's a different story, of course. Yep, 3 Pleiades. I was playing Shark Fortress, but nah, because I play skill drain, so I wasn't gonna attack 2 times. And also Shark Fortress is 2004. If I have skill drain, I have a 2005 would be better. And the other 3 copies of the extra deck would be Triple Link Spiders. This is for the Hakuero and Conquistadors. I only summon it once during this game, so I might cut it. And for the MVP extra decks would be Lina, the Light Charmers. This card performs very, very good in my opinion. I wanted to use it to crash an opponents to search for Nibiru's, but I didn't get the chance to do it because all of my opponents just immediately shut down after I activate my Floodgates or anything. And the reason I play this because I play Gamma, and I can use Gamma to make this, and if my opponents have a light, I can use it again. And especially shoutouts to Edwards again. He I revived his Siegfried like twice, and he even uses Dragon Ravine to discard a monster. He discarded Nibiru, and he do it a combo. I have this. I plan to summon back the Nibiru to have a 3k body, but he just imprint me. So, and when he by the time he destroyed this, I searched my Gamma, and because my monster zone is already empty, so he crashed into this. I searched for Gamma, so next turn my anything will be live. If he wanted to hand trap me, savage me, I will have a Gamma at hand to prepare for it. And of course, to play the one Zeus, this can be anything because I never summoned it. I never plan to summon it because sometimes in game 1 people might imperm my Gustav Max if I wanted to go for game, so I wanted to play this as a backup plan. For the discard folders for punishments will be 2 enters, 1 Omega, and 1 Pegasus, self-explanatory. This could be the third enters, but yeah, the Zeus can be changed into the third enters, but I believe 2 is enough. And for the side deck, this is where the spicy stuff came in, and because I only play 1 Nibiru, in my opinion, this format Nibiru is not that impactful. Yes, you can stop your opponent's comboing, but mostly of the players, they have cross out or more extenders to continue to combo off. So I believe that if I top deck this during my going second, I will be very mad because my opponent already full combo there. I then just top deck this. What the heck? But it's just there to fill in the blank. I might cut this for something else, but it's just there. This is a really good hand trap. They're really impactful, I believe. And the other will be 1 Prankatops. This I have to explain. 1 Prankatops, of course, the Egyptian god card I believe is the triple lava golems. Because this deck I don't normal summon, and also and you can see I don't play hand traps, I don't play Maxis, I don't play Ash, I only play Gamma. But if I go in second, I'm gonna side out my Gamma, I'm gonna put this, because in theory mostly of the combo decks they're just gonna end the board like 1 or 2 negates with a boss monsters and then have a back rows. Like Virtuals, they will have a Shen Shen, VFD, and Juche. And for like Drytrons, they will have a Beatrice, Hero of Professional, Mu Beta. And for Sword Souls, they will have Baroness, Dry Guy, or even the Sword Soul level 8 Synchros. And if you Nibiru at the point, they will probably gonna Baroness anyway. And if you don't want to open a big monster hands, basically you're just gonna side out your Sky Prison, side out your Cypher. You're not gonna side out your back rows. You're not gonna side out that much because you want to prevent yourself from drawing multiple monsters. You're basically in a Eldrich deck. You open a multiple monsters in your first hand. It's basically just you have to concede, or because you can't go even further. You can't grind that much. So by letting your opponent combo off, do as much as they want because they're gonna do it anyway. Because why your opponent have to stop right there if you don't hand trap them? They have to do a potential board to make sure they have to keep alive, do as much as possible, full negates, 3 negates, 4 negates, whatever it is. And once they do, you can just give them the lava golems. Even if you open 2, it doesn't matter. If they have 3 monsters, you can lava the second one and then lava the first one, and you just have to consider it. And accompany with a Prankatops. If against Tri Brigade, they make a optimal board like Appaloosa, the Ancient Warrior Link 2s, and you can just give them this in defense positions, and you special Prankatops to attack the Lava Golem. And during the battle phase, you can tribute it to bait the Revolt. And if they have Gamma, they are responding Gamma. If they don't, they have to respond to Revolt. And it is anything, and you can use your back row to grind with them. That's why Lava Golem is so crucial in nowadays metagames, because most of the decks will have 2 or more monsters on the field, and Lava Golem is not once per turn. It doesn't concede normal summon. It's better than Kaiju's, better than the Spear mode. And for mirrors or even back row decks, oops, drop my card, would be the Cosmic Cyclone. I never use this during my mirrors. During my mirrors, I never see this, but during my Sky Striker matchups, I see this a lot. I banish literally everything he had in the back row. I don't care it's Widow Anchor, I don't care it's multi-row, I just banish anything I can see in the eye. And to accompany with the Cosmic would be Triple Evenly. This is the all-win against certain mirrors, certain back rows. I even evenly Edwards for his Dragon Link's board. I gave him the lava golem. I did this. He chained Dragon Maid Tiding to remove this, and he just wanted to get rid of the lava golem. He didn't want to left anything, so we just have to start it from scratch. This is a really good card. Like I said in most of my videos, if this card is legal at 3, I will play 3 because why not? As you're playing a slow paced deck, so you don't have to play Lightning Storms, you play this as enough. You don't have to think about how to kill it right at the moment. No, you can just slowly grind, so you can use this, and it's not once per turn. And accompany with these 2 also be 2 D barrier and the 2 Ice Dragon's Prison. Ice Dragon's Prison, in my opinion, is kind of nice in this format. You can use it against Tri-Brigade, against Sword Souls, or against like Drytrons, even Dragon Links, etc. But I never get the chance to side this in. By the time I get the chance to use this, I never drew it. My opponent's already dead, or I already dead. And for Deep Barrier, is nice in this format. You can just basically stall your opponents for a turn. But against Drytrons, you have to commit that you have to declare a Xyz or Rituals. But in my opinion, I have to declare Rituals regardless, because if I declare Rituals, they can ritual out Hera Perfectionist or Dragonist. They will concede into the Mu Beta and Beatrice, and Beatrice they will like send the Eva to search a Hera Orange Light, and you have a Mu Beta for 2Ks and go into next turn for Zeus. I prefer that because that is the board I can easily go off with, because I have played the Torrentials, I played the Dogmatic Judgment. I can clear that board easier than clearing Hera Perfectionist. So this I will potentially have to play it in this format. I never met a Sorcerer, but in theory this is a really good going first against those decks. So guys, that's it for the profile. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'm really happy that I get my first 3rd place for my locals. It's been a while, and also I wanted to shout out to ESDR Gaming for giving me most tips, and also Edward for testing this deck with me after the tournament, which is still nice. It's middle of the night yesterday's, and also my crew, my group of friends that in my locals, although we're still in lockdown, we can't go anywhere. Yeah, still shout out to them, and hope you guys enjoy this video. If you guys got anything want to ask me, or any suggestions, or any other maybe tips, wanna let me know, you guys can leave the comments down below. I'll read every single comments, I'll reply every single one of them, and the things you guys write on the comments gave me like thrills, give me happiness. I really love to read all those comments, so be sure to smash the like buttons and the sub buttons, and we'll see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Take care, everyone.